Hey guys, let's talk about last night's episode of Rain. And I really enjoyed it. I think one of the things that I'm liking about this series is that Mary and Catherine are two very strong women and they will not back down from a fight and they will stand their ground. They will do whatever it takes. And I can really appreciate that and I can get behind them. Sometimes their tactics may be a little off, maybe not so well planned, but doesn't matter. They're willing to fight no matter what. So in this episode, we get introduced to a man named Count Vincent, and he is from Italy. And he pretty much comes to the castle because he knows that King Henry is not there. And he wants some revenge for the fact that his son was murdered. And his plan is to take them hostage. So, of course, Francis offers up himself, and Catherine is furious and she doesn't want that to happen. But, he's willing to take one for the sake of his family, his brothers, everybody. So, of course, Mary and Catherine come up with a plan, and they want Francis to take everybody out of the castle without the Count unaware of it while they're having this dinner party that he's throwing for Mary and the ladies in waiting. And the plan is to take them all through the secret passageway, and Olivia's going to stay and open up the doors again for Mary and her ladies once they excuse themselves from the dinner. So, the plans all go and they take them out, but of course, Olivia abandons her post and is not there to help Mary and the ladies get away. So they have to return to the dinner, and of course, when they return, Catherine freaks out because now she realizes that the plan is not going the way it's supposed to, and she pretty much just offers up the Count all this money, and he's like, she says, take it and go, and he's like, I don't want the money, and he's like, do you know, and then she turns on the women, and she's like, well, then you can have the women, and you can take them, and, and it's like, hello, Mary and all of her ladies in waiting are like, hello, like, no, you can't have us, and Catherine is pretty much willing to sell anything she can to protect her son. And, the Count looks at her and he's just like, listen, until you know what it feels like to lose a son, I don't want anything that you have to offer. And then he grabs he grabs Mary, and all of his disgusting men grab the ladies, and it looks like he's about to rape them. And of course, that's when Catherine, first, all of his men start to keel over in pain and their eyes start bleeding, and we see that they've been poisoned. And Catherine has obviously had a backup plan that nobody was aware of. And when the Count is distracted, Mary stabs him in the neck with a fork, and of course he falls onto the table and dies. And it's pretty awesome because these women take charge in this scene. And then out of nowhere, Francis comes up from behind and stabs him in the back. So, it was sort of a team effort, but the women really took the ranks on this and tried to save themselves. And, of course, Catherine was a little shady halfway through because she's willing to sell the ladies down the river. But we got a very interesting scene between Mary and Catherine earlier and all the ladies when she pretty much told them that she understands what it's like to be taken and to sort of have no power. And she's explained a story that happened to her that, she was pretty much taken to be used and have all the men go through her and, just have their way with her. But in her version of the story, she was rescued. But Mary, at the end of the episode, questions her on that and says, you weren't rescued, were you? You were pretty much raped by all of these men. And you get the sense that Catherine has been through a lot. And of course, she wants to do anything she can to save her family, protect her family. And Francis is, soon to be the king. And the vision, of course, that Nostradamus had still sits with Catherine, and she wants, to do whatever she can to get rid of Mary. And, that is one of the reasons why she had Olivia try to get pregnant with Francis. And, Olivia tells Catherine, listen, I understand what you want to do, but Francis does not love me. He loves Mary. And that is not going to change. And of course, Catherine doesn't want to hear this, but, she has to take defeat in this particular case. If she wants to get rid of Mary, she's going to have to do it in another way, because what we do see at the very end of the episode is Francis, embraces Mary, and he tells her finally that he loves her, and, they kiss passionately, and it looks like they're about to go to second, third, and fourth base as they end up on the bed, and he pretty much says to her, "Tell me when you want me to stop," and she says, like, never. So, they end up having some very intimate scenes at the end of the episode, which is nice because I actually really like the two of them together. I know that Bash is probably somebody who many fans would like to see her with, but I actually like Francis. So I'm glad that the two of them are getting together. Now, speaking of Bash, he was a little MIA in this episode because he was actually taken hostage and thrown into a cell. But what we did find out in this episode was that his mom believes that Henry has always loved Bash the most, and she thinks that there is a way that Bash can be legitimately taken and pretty much be told that he is the first heir because he is the eldest son, but he's the bastard son. And what we find out is that his mom was actually in cahoots with the Count, and she's the one who told him when Henry was going to be out of town. So her plan was to get Francis and the two younger sons of Henry out of the castle so that Bash could become the sole heir. And I mean, great plan, didn't work in the execution. And so you can see that this mom, Bash's mom, as much as everyone likes to think that she has accepted her place as the first mistress, which now I'm not sure if she still is anymore because Mary's lady has now taken that position. Everyone assumes that she has taken this, on the chin, and she's just like, yeah, I'm content being the other woman, but clearly she's not. And she wants Bash to be recognized as the legitimate heir. And she's obviously going to do whatever it takes to accomplish that. So, she's got some tricks up her sleeve herself. And when Bash finds this out, he's like, this is treason. Like, you cannot say these things out loud. If anybody ever finds this out, we could be killed. And it's as simple as that. So I thought this was a really good episode. There's always lots of little twists and turns going on in this show. Not everything is as it seems to be. So that was really cool. And Olivia seems to have gone missing in the tunnels, and it looks like, I think Clarissa is what her name is, the one who's kind of always lurking around in the tunnels, did something with her, and who knows what it is. So, I guess that's what you get for leaving your post and not sticking to the plan, Olivia. So anyways, that has been my review of Reign. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I think we still have a couple more episodes left before it goes on its mid-season break, and I'm happy about that because I'm really enjoying this show. For a CW show, it's hitting in all the right places. Okay, guys, that's been my review. I'll see you next week. Bye.